Well, hail to you, champions. JRAM's Gaming here. I hope you all are having an incredible day. Hopefully, I will earn your subscription today. So if I do, definitely consider liking and subscribing this video, sharing it with family and friends, and also turning on notifications so you don't miss a content release. I do try to live stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, so definitely keep an eye out for those. Today's video is the question, what keeps gamers playing older games like Diablo 2, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy VII, games that are back in the past in the late 90s, early 2000s that really really set the bar as far as like how games could be done in a way that really captivate players. Now, I've been watching a few TikToks lately, and they're talking about why gamers keep playing or end up eventually going back to these older games like Diablo 2, StarCraft, World of Warcraft. And I think a lot of the reasons is these games did come out in the late 90s and early 2000s. And the creators were still working very, very hard to ship a complete game. I think that's something that's been absolutely lost over the last, 10, 15 years with video games now, especially with games nowadays. It's it's at the point now where games are coming out incomplete. They're coming out in early access. They're not even doing alphas and betas anymore. They're just like, hey guys, this is early release. We hope you enjoy it, with all of the wonderful bugs and things going on with it. And they hope that they can slow roll that release into getting enough funds so that they can actually finish and complete the game, i.e. Last Epoch, Diablo 4, No Rest for the Wicked, these different games. And although some of them had better outcomes than others, granted, there's definitely something strange going on. Not only are games taking 2 or 3 times longer than originally back in the day, but the teams are like 10x as far as like the size of the teams they have to build these games from the ground up. And I don't really understand, because it seems that as we grow, especially in technology, that there are better or other ways to help get games done faster. There's now Unreal engines. There's different applications that can be done to help with these games along the way. And it's just really, really interesting that these games take even longer now to get together and to make them good, which is really, really sad. Another point I had was games that had great story plots. Hey, Ostras Arlington, thank you so much for the sub over on YouTube. Shout out to you, champion. Really do appreciate it. But these games had really great story plots, storylines. They had very good character development. And one of the points that I make, especially when it comes to storytelling, is these older games, you're always the center focus as the hero of the story, of the world, of the towns, of the cities, and in many the world that you are going into these games and playing. And I think that's something that's being lost over time, to say it mildly. Last Epoch definitely failed at that. Definitely did not make me feel like I was a part of the story and I was the hero of the world, hero of time. Diablo 4 definitely failed to do that. I felt like every time I had interactions with different characters, it's just kind of like, oh, you're here. It's like, not like, hail to you, champion. Oh, you are the conqueror of Kaovash. Oh my goodness. Your tales are legendary. We hear them all the time of all the things that you did to save so-and-so and such and such. And instead, it's just like, we're just these just wanderers of just like, hey guys, we're just kind of here along for the ride. Not that we're heroes or anything. So I don't really understand why the storytelling has changed in that regard. And also, I think storytelling has become too formulaic rather than focusing on telling a good story and unfolding the character's development, unfolding the things that are happening in the world. And I think that's been traded off for not only the formula, but also for the shock and awe value to try to keep people interested rather than just telling good plot lines, plot points. And it's really annoying, to be honest, especially playing these games. It's just like, I really want to have a really good story in these games. And it's just like, I have to play a completely different genre of game in order to get that nowadays. And I have some games that I want to play in the future to try out, to try to see if I can hopefully enjoy some of these different stories that have been coming out. Personal ideologies, politics, social issues, personal egos get in the way. And unfortunately, they're not being left out of the game. They're actually being processed within the game. And instead of like making good decisions on, hey, this is actually what's probably best for the story or best for the game, it's no, I'm the boss. You're going to do what I say. You're going to take this and you're going to like it. And it's especially with the demographics. Like, I don't understand why we're not catering to the demographics of what video games are for, which is the vast majority, according to different polls and according to different demographic data points, is that these are massively, male-dominated spaces. And we're trying to, I don't know if it's to dumb down or to take out the masculine parts of the games. Like, especially with World of Warcraft, I think Asmongold had a really good point about World of Warcraft, how the teeth of the game have just kind of been left out. Before it was like really buff, like really gruff, dudes that are like just, hammering on each other. And now it's just like, we're going to talk this out and I'm mad at you. It's just really interesting how things have changed over the last 10, 15 years. For many people, when they play a game, to shut the real world off for just a short amount of time so they can breathe and be able to get back to focus on it again. And I think a lot of times, especially some of these TikToks, they talk about how escapism is like a bad thing. And I really don't think. I think in moderate increments, I think escapism is actually really good, especially for me personally, because I really feel like the opportunities I have to kind of jump in and to lose myself in these worlds, it gives me an opportunity to feel like a conqueror, to feel like somebody who can control things, to control my personal destiny in the real world. And so, like, a lot of people say that the things that your brain thinks and your eyes see, even if it is not real, it feels real to your brain and to your body. I think that goes to say with video games. And so if like you're really having a good time and you're, defeating the enemies and you are saving these individuals from these really terrible situations in these games, you feel absolutely incredible and like, oh gosh, I could do this in my own life if I want to. These are kind of some of the things that I think about. And the last thing, I think, what brings people back into these older spaces, these older games, even though they're not massive like, a lot of these other games, they still have like thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of players that come back. But nostalgia plays a great role. As many who played these games at that time got them through a hard time in their lives. And I think that's really very true for myself. I feel like games like World of Warcraft, Diablo 2, really got me through a lot of like really tough times in my life. Whether it was a family member who passed away or a family member who decided they didn't want to be part of the family anymore. A lot of times these games kind of give you that small semblance of escapism so that you feel like you can get back into it and really control your life again. But those are my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching another video. I'm going to try to keep doing these each week. Try to get one or two out on the weekends so I can produce them and get them scheduled out for the following week. I do live stream normally Friday through Sunday. And hopefully I've earned your subscription today. Definitely like and subscribe, share with family and friends. And from my family to yours, good night.